Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we will continue with a fascinating topic that I am sure many of you have been eager to explore: the mysterious journey of 49 days after death. According to Buddhism, death has always been one of humanity's greatest mysteries. Since ancient times, people have constantly wondered, where do we go after we close our eyes for the last time? Is there a heaven for the virtuous and a hell for the wicked? Or is everything just emptiness, a complete dissolution into the void? In Buddhism and many Eastern cultures, death is not the end, but rather a gateway to another journey, the journey of consciousness during the 49 days before entering a new existence. The 49 days after death is not just a random number. It is a crucial period in which the soul must undergo trials, face both light and darkness, and ultimately be guided by its own karma to one of the 6 realms of samsara. This is the decisive phase that determines a person's next existence. They may be reborn as a human, ascend to the heavenly realms as a deity, or fall into suffering-filled realms such as the realm of hungry ghosts, animals, or hell. In Buddhist scriptures, particularly the Tibetan Book of the Dead, these 49 days are considered a final opportunity to attain enlightenment, or at least secure a better rebirth. Many Eastern cultures, especially in Vietnam, China, and Tibet, believe that the soul of the deceased lingers in the earthly realm during this time. Strange dreams, spiritual occurrences felt by the living, these are believed to be sins of the wandering consciousness seeking guidance. This is why families often hold 7-week memorial ceremonies, one every week for 7 weeks, during the 49 days, praying for the deceased to find liberation. Interestingly, near-death experiences, NDEs, as recorded in modern scientific studies, share many similarities with descriptions found in Buddhist scriptures. Those who have died and returned often recount the sensation of leaving their bodies, seeing a tunnel of light, and encountering divine beings or deceased loved ones, all of which partially reflect the post-death journey that Buddhism has described for thousands of years. So where does a person truly go after 49 days? What determines whether one attains a good rebirth or falls into suffering? And is there a way to prepare for a peaceful death and a better reincarnation? Let's embark on a journey to uncover the mystery of the 49 days after death. A journey not only about death, but one that also helps us gain a deeper understanding of life itself. According to Buddhism, when a person dies, their consciousness, also known as the intermediate body or Bardo being, undergoes a unique journey lasting up to 49 days before being reborn into a realm that corresponds to their karma. This process is described in detail in the Tibetan Book of the Dead, as well as in some scriptures of Theravada and Mahayana Buddhism. Below are the key stages that consciousness experiences. The moment of death, Zesasua 3 days. The consciousness leaving the body. At the moment of death, consciousness, or spirit mind, often remains near the body, unaware that it has died. The stage of clear wisdom. If the person has deeply practiced spiritual cultivation, they may merge with the light of the Dharmakaya, truth body, and attain liberation instantly for those not yet awakened. Otherwise, the consciousness gradually realizes its death and may experience confusion, suffering, or regret. Phenomena at the moment of death and near-death experiences, NDEs, a feeling of lightness and confusion. When the heart stops beating, blood circulation ceases and the nervous system shuts down, but consciousness does not immediately disappear. Many who have had near-death experiences report feeling as though they were being pulled out of their bodies, looking down at themselves, seeing doctors or grieving relatives. The presence of deceased, loved ones. Many people recount seeing their departed relatives welcoming them, acting as guides for the consciousness entering the afterlife journey. The tunnel of light phenomenon. Some individuals as documented in Dr. Raymond Moody's near-death studies, describes seeing a bright, radiant light, similar to a gateway into another world. In Buddhism, this light is seen as a manifestation of the Dharmakaya, the purest state of consciousness. Case studies of near-death experiences. Dr. Eben Alexander, a neuroscientist who once doubted the existence of the spiritual world. However, after falling into a coma due to meningitis, he had a vivid near-death experience. He described entering a surreal world filled with radiant light, ethereal music, and the presence of a divine being. This experience completely changed his perception of death, leading to his famous book, Proof of Heaven, Pam Reynolds, one of the most well-documented NDE cases in medical history. During a brain surgery procedure, her heart stopped beating, and her brain ceased functioning. Yet, upon revival, she accurately recounted details of the surgery, including conversations between doctors and the medical instruments used. The intermediate state, Bardo, 4 to 49 days, the Bardo body. This is a subtle, non-physical form that can move rapidly, pass through objects, and still perceive events occurring around it. An unstable state of mind. The Bardo consciousness is influenced by past karma and may experience terrifying hallucinations or blissful realms, depending on their deeds. Judgment and karmic retribution. Those with negative karma may witness visions of hell and terrifying demons. Those with good karma may see beautiful realms, such as the Pure Land or heavenly abodes. In Buddhism, the Tibetan Book of the Dead serves as a guide for navigating the Bardo state, either attaining liberation or securing a better rebirth. The text is divided into 3 main sections. Bardo Chikai describes the initial phase when consciousness leaves the body, emphasizing the recognition of the pure light for immediate liberation. Bardo Chunyid details the visions of peaceful and wrathful deities, along with various realms the consciousness may encounter. Bardo Sidpa, the final stage leading to rebirth, where the consciousness is drawn toward different realms based on karma. The Tibetan Book of the Dead stresses that if the deceased recognizes the light in the first phase, they can achieve enlightenment immediately without the need for rebirth. Otherwise, they undergo the illusions of the Bardo state, where the mind projects fearful or blissful images depending on their karma. Illusions and challenges in the Bardo state. During the 49-day Bardo period, the consciousness undergoes various trials, as described in the Tibetan Book of the Dead, the light of the Buddhas. If the consciousness recognizes this light as the true nature of the mind, they can attain liberation. However, many fear its intensity and flee, leading to rebirth. Wrathful deities and fearsome visions, these are merely reflections of the mind. If the consciousness remains calm, they can transcend them without being drawn into negative realms. Strange noises and panic, thunderous sounds, roaring echoes, and chaotic vibrations may induce fear, causing the consciousness to descend into lower realms if they lose awareness. Methods for recognizing the true nature and achieving liberation. The Tibetan Book of the Dead provides guidance to help the consciousness avoid getting trapped in illusions and secure a better rebirth. Recognizing the clear light. This is the true nature of the mind. If the consciousness merges with this light, they will be liberated from samsara, the cycle of rebirth. Overcoming fear of wrathful deities. These are merely projections of the mind. By remaining calm, the consciousness can pass the trials safely. Chanting Buddha's name or listening to prayers. The living can assist the deceased by reciting Buddha's name or reading scriptures to help the consciousness remain at peace. Parallels between the Tibetan Book of the Dead and modern near-death research. There are remarkable similarities between Buddhist teachings on the Bardo and contemporary near-death experiences, as said in the beginning of the topic. experiencing the light. Many NDE survivors describe a radiant light, similar to the Dharmakaya light in the Tibetan Book of the Dead, encounters with deceased loved ones, a phenomenon also frequently recorded in near-death studies. Transformational changes after NDEs. Many who return from near-death experiences undergo a profound shift in their outlook on life, becoming more altruistic and less fearful of death, aligning with the teachings of the Tibetan Book of the Dead on liberation from samsara. Some true stories of Bardo experiences. The Tibetan Lama Dawa Rinpoche. In some cases, Tibetan monks pass away, yet their bodies remain soft and unchanged for days. This is believed to indicate that they are still in the Bardo state and have not completely left the physical realm. Some people even report seeing lights or sensing the presence of these monks after their passing. Dream visitations by the deceased. Many accounts suggest that during the 49-day period after death, family members may dream of the deceased giving messages, requesting prayers, or revealing signs about their next life. 3. Rebirth, before or after 49 days. After the intermediate state, Bardo, consciousness is drawn into the process of rebirth, influenced by karmic forces. The main factors determining rebirth include karmic forces of the deceased, past actions, determine which realm the consciousness will be reborn into, state of mind at the moment of death. If the deceased maintains a peaceful mind, they may be reborn into a favorable realm. If they die with anger or hatred, they may fall into a suffering realm. Karmic affinity and attraction. The consciousness is drawn to a family that matches its karma, which explains why some individuals claim to remember past lives. Time of rebirth. Some beings reincarnate within days, while others may wait the full 49 days or even longer. Depending on their karma, a being can be reborn into one of the 6 realms: the heavenly realm, the human realm, the asura realm, the animal realm, the hungry ghost realm, or the hell realm. Those who have accumulated merit and engaged in spiritual practice may choose a higher realm of rebirth or even attain liberation from the cycle of samsara. What are the 6 realms of rebirth in Buddhism? In Buddhism, rebirth after death is not random, but depends on the karma accumulated throughout one's lifetime. The 6 realms of rebirth, samsara, include the heavenly realm, Devaloka. This is the realm of celestial beings who enjoy great merit, peace, and prolonged happiness. Those who maintain moral discipline, practice generosity, meditation, and cultivate compassion accumulate vast merit, leading to rebirth in heavenly realms. However, due to excessive pleasure, they have fewer opportunities to continue spiritual practice and attain liberation. The human realm, Manusya Loka. The human realm is the only one where suffering and happiness are balanced, providing the optimal conditions for spiritual practice and enlightenment. It is also the only realm where beings can accumulate merit to escape samsara. Those with good karma, who uphold morality, engage in virtuous deeds and develop wisdom but still possess desires and ignorance, are reborn in this realm. The Asura realm, Asura Loka. Asuras are powerful beings who enjoy privileges like celestial beings but are consumed by jealousy and anger. As a result, they are constantly engaged in conflict and lack inner peace. Those who accumulate merit but remain envious, ambitious, and inclined toward war may be reborn as asuras. Although they possess more power and luxury than humans, they are always engaged in struggles to maintain their status. The animal realm, Tiryagyoni Loka. The animal realm consists of all non-human creatures. It is characterized by ignorance, lack of wisdom, and a life driven solely by instincts. Beings here suffer from predation, exploitation, and lack of opportunity for spiritual growth. Those who live in indulgence fail to cultivate wisdom, act out of greed and ignorance, or treat others cruelly, may be reborn as animals. The hungry ghost realm, Pretaloka. Hungry ghosts are beings that suffer from insatiable hunger, thirst, and torment caused by their excessive greed. They often appear as emaciated figures with large bellies but tiny throats, making it impossible to satisfy their cravings. Those who live with extreme greed, hoard wealth selfishly, and refuse to help others may be reborn as hungry ghosts, enduring perpetual suffering despite having possessions they cannot use. The Hell Realm, Narakaloka. The Hell Realm is the most torturous place, reserved for those who commit severe negative karma. Beings here undergo immense suffering before they have the chance to be reborn elsewhere. Those with malicious intentions, who commit severe misdeeds such as killing, deceiving, causing harm, or inflicting suffering on others, fall into hell to atone for their karma. However, once their karmic debts are settled, they can eventually be reborn into other realms. The 49-day journey and the meaning of rebirth in Buddhism and Eastern culture. When a person takes their last breath, they do not truly disappear, but embark on a new journey, a mysterious transition lasting 49 days before their consciousness finds a suitable rebirth according to their karma. In Buddhism, this period is not merely a transition, but also a crucial opportunity for the soul to be guided, liberated, or at least reborn in a favorable realm. In Eastern culture, especially in Tibetan, Chinese, and Vietnamese Buddhist traditions, these 49 days are considered a decisive period for the fate of the deceased. The fate of a being, after 49 days, the law of karma and universal justice. No one can escape the cycle of samsara unless they attain enlightenment. After 49 days, every soul is destined to be reborn into one of the 6 realms: heavenly, human, asura, animal, hungry ghost, or hell. There is no negotiation or escape from this fate, as it is solely determined by one's past actions, thoughts, and speech. Those who accumulate good karma may be reborn in the human or heavenly realms, where they can continue to practice and move closer to liberation. In contrast, those burdened with greed, hatred, and delusion who cause harm to others may fall into the lower realms of animals, hungry ghosts, or hell, where they must endure the consequences of their actions. However, no suffering or joy is permanent. All realms are subject to change, and every being always has the opportunity to rise, practice, and seek liberation from samsara. Why 49 days? The significance in Buddhism and Eastern culture. The number 49 is not random, but holds profound meaning in Buddhism. According to Tibetan Buddhist beliefs, the consciousness of the deceased undergoes 7 phases, each lasting 7 days, known as the 7 weeks, Bardo stages. During these weeks, the consciousness may experience visions, lights, sounds, and spiritual trials. Without proper guidance, they may become fearful and fall into lower realms. However, with the right spiritual direction, they can recognize their true nature and attain liberation. In Eastern culture, particularly in Vietnam, China, and Japan, families often hold weekly memorial rites during these 49 days to dedicate merit to the deceased. They believe that the sincere prayers and offerings from the living can help ease the soul's confusion, reduce karmic obstacles, and provide better rebirth opportunities. This practice is not only an act of remembrance, but also a way to maintain a connection between the living and the departed. A message from the 49-day journey. Live a meaningful life. The journey after death is not a fictional tale or a vague belief. Regardless of one's faith in Buddhism, we can all learn a valuable lesson from this process. The law of karma is fair. If we wish for a fortunate rebirth and a peaceful life, we must cultivate good karma in the present. No one can change the past, but everyone has the power to shape their future through their present actions. If death marks a new chapter of existence, Then the 49-day period is the critical moment determining the fate of each soul. To avoid being lost in the darkness of ignorance, the most important thing is not to worry about where we will go after death, but to focus on how we live in this very moment. A mindful, compassionate, and wise life not only ensures a meaningful existence, but also serves as a ticket to a better rebirth. We have now explored the 49-day journey after death. If you found this article meaningful, please like, share, and subscribe to follow more insightful topics in the future. Thank you.